What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today we are in the 2024 Ford Maverick, and I ended up purchasing the Lariat for multiple reasons, but as we go through the video I will give you more in-depth reasons why I bought the Lariat. But this is truly the first time I drove it. I think the most important thing to start off with is how long it took me to get the dang thing, because from the research I've done in the past is it's absolutely insane, like people waiting a year plus to get theirs. I actually ordered mine in November and it showed up here in February, I believe the 22nd. That's not terribly long. So far, like, the driving has been unbelievably smooth. I was kind of curious to see what the braking was going to be like, and it is a little bit more stabby than I expected, but nothing that you won't quickly get used to. I've kind of already gotten used to it just within the 5 miles I've drove the truck so far. One thing I would say is really amazing so far, because this is really just first impressions, is going to be the way it keeps you in the lane, the cruise control. I haven't gotten to experience the cruise control braking yet, but I'm very excited to have that on the Maverick. I think what kind of sucks is that really you can only get those higher end driving features with the Lariat and the expensive package. So you got to be looking at kind of the high dollar one to get those things, which kind of sucks, because my initial thoughts and impressions really kind of boiled down to is I either buy the lowest base model version of it and just use it as a good commuter, because that was really the point for me. A commuter that I can take mountain bikes, a motorcycle. Hopefully I can get a motorcycle in the back. We're about to find out. That should be in an upcoming video. If you guys are interested, say down below what you want to see done to a Maverick, and I'll do my best to show you guys the different types of things that I deal with. For example, like, I already have the motorcycle on, put it in here, the ramp to get the motorcycle in the bed, and it's so low it shouldn't be that difficult to do it. So we shall see. I'll make a quick vid on that for you guys too, so you could see like what can you actually put in this tiny little bed, because you know damn well we can't sleep in it. It's that small. So hopefully it'll fit. I'm big on motorcycles. I'll just ride two wheels everywhere I go, and I've always wanted a mini truck. The problem is you buy a mini truck and they get the same terrible fuel mileage that a full-size truck would. So what's, you know, it was always to me like, what's the point? Like, you pay so much money for these little trucks and you get a much smaller engine and it has terrible fuel economy. So once I saw this thing at like 40 miles per gallon, I was immediately kind of all in. I was like, a little mini truck, amazing fuel mileage, a commuter car basically, yes please, I'll take one. So that's why I ultimately went for this vehicle. Like, even right now I am barely cruising. It's all been kind of city back roads-ish, stop and go, and I'm at 44 and climbing right now for miles per gallon. That's pretty damn cool, just driving around town. I don't know what you guys think, but to me that is absolutely insane. The next thing I think worthy of talking about, once again, just a quick first impression of this thing. I think the color is really nice. It's a little bit darker blue, which I think actually turned out really well. I thought it was a little darker than it is, just looking at kind of some of the pictures through Ford. And now that I see it in person, I think that the blue is a little bit brighter than I expected, and I like it a lot. I think this color scheme looks amazing. I really wasn't willing to ditch or get the blacked out package, even though I would have preferred the black rims and maybe the little black accenting that came along with it. But in my opinion, it wasn't worth the price. The rims themselves that come with the black package, I didn't see them as like, those are such cool rims, I should have those. And I figured if I ultimately want to upgrade rims later in the future, I'll just buy the rims I really want and the tires I really want when these wear out. So that part wasn't really worth it to me. The other thing, the reason why I didn't really want the blacked out package is I like this like faux King Ranch kind of look. It's not as aggressive as the King Ranch look, and of course it doesn't smell like you're sitting on a cow like a King Ranch does, because it's, you know, not even real leather. But I think it looks nice instead of like the contrasty oranges that they put in the XLT. This is more of a doled out brown, sand brown I think is what they called it, with this nice looking little blue. I think the color interior of this looks considerably better than what lower models looked ultimately, is kind of The other reason why I didn't go with the blacked out package, because you basically get the blue and gray and none of the additional accented color. So there's the packages. Like, really, like, you think you want to add all these things to it, but it really is as simple as what, you know, model truck do you want, and what like 3 major packages you choose to get what you want on the truck. And ultimately the packages you want on the lower trucks, you know, they just come with the XLT or they come with the Lariat. They do a really good job at kind of like trying to bump you to the next price point. The other part would be, like, you could lift it a little bit, get some meteor tires on it if you're just looking for that look, I guess. I mean, it would definitely go a little bit better off-road if you did that as well, but nothing crazy, because you're never going to get past the fact that it doesn't have 4-wheel drive or really any solid way to lock any differentials or anything like that. But other than that, I mean, you could even slam it, I guess, if you were to put some nice, you know, bigger rims on it, low profile tires, and kind of lower this thing. I think it would be a pretty mean looking little lowrider truck, if that's what you were looking for. Well, this is the first time trying to get on the freeway, but I mean, that was maybe half throttle. That picked up really, really quick for this tiny little engine. That's pretty freaking cool. I don't feel like I am, you know, losing power. Like, I feel like I have a good amount of power in this vehicle. I think that's worth noting. We're hitting 70-ish miles per hour right now. We've dropped down to 39 miles per gallon, which isn't bad. I'm gonna go ahead and test out some cruise control here so you guys can see how that kind of goes. And what's cool about cruise control is once you turn that on, then you've got your, like, lane assist stuff takes over. I'm still in eco mode, which is another reason why it was really cool that it kind of picked up that much with, like, half throttle, picked up power pretty quickly, even in eco mode, which that's pretty freaking cool. So we're cruising 74 miles an hour. We've already kind of dropped down to about 37 miles per gallon. So I'm really curious, like, there's a Facebook page I just kind of signed up for that's just purely for these hybrid ones, and it's interesting to see some of these guys gain like 70, 80, 90 miles per gallon on this thing, or like 900 to 1,000 miles per tank of fuel. That's freaking insane, guys. I mean, cool if it does that, but realistically, if I get just under 40 or 40-ish miles per gallon, like, commuting back and forth on the freeway, because that's really all I do, that's pretty damn good to me, in my opinion. Well, there we go. So now I'm getting some of the braking is kicking in. It just dropped me down to 67 miles an hour because a car just got in front of me. That's freaking awesome. Right now, I am cruise control's taking over. The car's speeding up, slowing down on its own, and the vehicle's staying in its own lane. Now, it seems to be, for me, like, when it comes to, like, the steering within the lane so far, it's taking about 17 seconds or so before it, like, chimes at me and says, you know, your hands aren't on the steering wheel or whatever. That's a decent amount of time. To get onto the kind of like stereo and stuff like that, all the console here, now obviously it does come, because it's the Lariat one, I get the dual control for both passenger and driver to have their own individual climates, which I think was kind of cool. And then the heated steering wheel, the heated seats. It doesn't look like there's any 8 air conditioning seats, which that's, you know, fine, whatever. I did end up getting the floor mats for the Maverick. I thought that was worth the money. And then also, because of the Lariat, in 2024, they now do the spray and bed liner as part of the truck, which was like a whole nother reason for me to get the Lariat, was it already gets a spray and bed liner. You don't have to pay for that. And then I also bought the rubber mat that goes over the sprayed in bed liner, which is kind of like a little too much, maybe. I maybe didn't need that mat. We'll see how that goes. Maybe it'll keep stuff from sliding around even on the sprayed in bed liner, as well as keeping from maybe scratching up the sprayed in bed liner. Maybe it'll keep it a little bit longer. We'll see. But as for the new, I think it's Sync 3.0 is what this dashboard is here, which is kind of cool, but I was really kind of hoping that in this vehicle we would have gotten the wireless CarPlay or Android Auto or whatever, but it doesn't appear that we got that. It looks like we have to plug in to get it. But that's kind of just like the quick first impression, guys. I'll kind of put together a full review after a few weeks of really driving this thing, commuting with it. Where am I really going to get for miles per gallon? And of course, we're going to slaughter this thing with upgrades things that we're going to use this thing for, whether it's in the back seat here for how I'm going to set up bicycles, whether it's mountain bike or road bike or both, and of course how I am going to get this truck set up for my little track toy, because it's going to take my motorcycles to the track for track days, and if it doesn't fit in the back, we're going to have to figure out some other kind of system and or small trailer for this thing. So if you're interested in things for this truck, or you are interested in me installing items on this truck or basic maintenance, let me know. Put it down in the comments and I will see what I can do. So thanks for hanging out with me on this first little review here, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!